When it comes to banking, you want people that you can trust, and those people are at First State Bank. As a locally owned and operated bank, First State Bank has been serving individuals and businesses with all of their banking needs since. Regardless of the type of personal or business insurance needs that you have, your first call needs to be to Clark Riley Insurance in Abernathy. With over 30 years of experience, our friendly staff is ready to serve you. Stop by and see us on the West Service Road in Abernathy, or give us a call today at 806 298 2591. Whether it's home insurance, auto insurance, or anything in between, we've got you covered at Clark Riley Insurance in Abernathy. We want to wish the Lopes and Lady Lopes the best of luck this season. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2 3 test. Hello, hello. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2 3 test. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3 test. If you're looking for a used car, there's no need to search far and wide. Just pay your friends at South Plains Auto Ranch a visit in Abernathy. South Plains Auto Ranch can find you the The following is a live sports event on the Abernathy Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in to today's game, and a special thanks to our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. The Abernathy Independent School District, First State Bank, Plains Grain Company, Clark Riley Insurance, Abernathy's First Baptist Church, Abel Funeral Home and Flower Shop, JC Refrigeration, Cooling and Heating, Has Beans Coffee, Hill Veterinary Services, Ty Horsford, Realtor, St. Clair and Massey Orthodontics, South Plains Auto Ranch, Little Slice of Heaven Cafe, and Nana's Donuts. To show your support of the Antelopes and Ladylopes and become a sponsor on our broadcast, contact us today at 806-773-4658. Thanks again for watching, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast of this live sports event featuring the Abernathy Antelopes. And good evening, Abernathy, Texas, and good evening, fans of the Abernathy Antelopes and Ladylopes. As for the first time in 2021, the Abernathy Antelope football team has hit the road this evening in Week 3 of the 2021 season as we have made our way to the oil patch tonight, where the Abernathy Antelopes on the road to tangle with the Sundown Roughnecks. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Voice of the Antelopes, Ty Horsford, with you high atop Slaughter Field here tonight in Sundown as the Abernathy Antelopes looking for their third consecutive win to begin the season here in 2021. Just finishing a touching tribute to 9/11, those lost, as we took a moment here on the turf at Slaughter Field to remember those and remember that day. On 9/11/2001. Hard to believe that is now 20 years ago, but on the eve of the 9/11 anniversary, as well as the 13 servicemen and women honored here that lost their lives in the last couple of weeks as well in Afghanistan. Just a really nice tribute by the folks here in Sundown tonight to get the evening started just before we came on the air. And sets the stage for what should be a perfect night for Texas high school football, as it's the Abernathy Antelopes tonight and the Sundown Roughnecks. Glad that we can be on the road and bring you this live video broadcast. Pre-game show tonight brought to you by Clark Riley Insurance in Abernathy. Go see Clark and Company for all your insurance needs. Glad to have them on board sponsoring our pregame show tonight, as well as our halftime show this evening on the road from Sundown, Texas. And let's take a look at this matchup as we're about 12 minutes out from the opening kickoff of the road opener for the Abernathy Antelopes here this evening. You've got Abernathy coming in at number 9 in the state of Texas, according to Dave Campbell's Texas football. They began the season at number 13, and they have climbed to number 9 after wins over Shallowater and Slayton to begin the 2021 campaign. The Sundown Roughnecks, they're looking for their second consecutive win, as after opening the season with a loss against the Muleshoe Mules, they rebounded in a big way and got a big shutout win against the Sundown Hornets last Friday night. The Sundown Roughnecks come into the ball game tonight at 1-1. As we mentioned last week, both of these teams victorious. Abernathy 46-8 over the Slayton Tigers, as they scored the game's first 27 points in the opening quarter and never looked back on their way to the convincing win. Sundown equally as convincing, as they got a 40-0 shutout victory over the Sundown Hornets last Friday night. And so tonight, both of these teams looking to keep the momentum running here into the third week of the season as they muddle their way through the non-district portion of their schedule. series note, these two teams getting quite familiar with one another in recent memory. The two teams, Abernathy and Sundown, are meeting for the 12th straight season. That's hard to believe, but this is the 12th consecutive year that they have played each other in the non-district portion of their schedule. And over that time, the Abernathy Antelopes have been dominant, as the Antelopes over the last 12 years, or this being the 12th year, they are 10-1 in the last 11 meetings against the Roughnecks. And maybe even more impressively, Abernathy has won 9 straight against these Sundown Roughnecks. And so tonight, Abernathy looks to make it a decade of wins, if you will, against the Sundown Roughnecks as they look to defeat Sundown for the 10th straight time here in 2021. Let's take a look at the Sundown Roughnecks, who traditionally have a pretty good football program over here in the Oil Patch. We mentioned they opened the season with a 33-14 setback to the Muleshoe Mules, but then rebounded last week with that convincing win over Sudan. Traditionally, Sundown has a strong rushing attack, and that's led to lots of wins in district play, contending for district titles, and a lot of playoff success over the last decade for the Sundown Roughnecks. And that rushing attack this year is much of the same for Sundown. As a team, Sundown is averaging 153 yards rushing per contest, 60 yards through the air. So definitely when Sundown has the football, you're going to look to see them run the ball first, and that'll be a focus area of the Antelope defense tonight to see if they can stop that pretty talented run game for the Sundown Roughnecks. Couple players to keep an eye on for Sundown this evening. Running back E.J. Hernandez. Hernandez averaging 84 yards per game on the ground through the first couple of weeks of the season. He's the number one target out of that Sundown backfield to touch the ball. And also keep an eye on quarterback Hunter Tyndall, as he's in his first year starting for the Sundown Roughnecks, averaging 60 yards passing per game to go along with 30 yards rushing per game. So Tyndall accounting for 90 yards of offense per contest in each of the first 2 weeks of the regular season. And then when Sundown is on defense, keep an eye on Kevin Garcia and Diego Hernandez. Garcia and Hernandez pasting the Roughneck defensive effort, 10 tackles apiece per game in their first 2 contests of the season against Muleshoe and the Sudan Hornets last week. So Garcia, Hernandez, names you'll probably hear a lot tonight when Sundown is on defense. You've got 6 offensive starters and 5 defensive starters back for the Sundown Roughnecks, off of a team a year ago that went 9-3 and advanced to the postseason. And if you take a look, they are predicted, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football, they are predicted to finish 3rd out of the 16 district in the Class 2A classification. They compete in a district with New Deal, Post, Hell Center, Floydada, and Tahoka, and they are picked to finish 3rd behind New Deal and Post in that Class 2A district. And so that's kind of the tell of the tape, if you will, tonight for the Sundown Roughnecks, and as both teams captains making their way out to midfield here for the opening coin toss of tonight's ball game. At Slaughter Field tonight, we are in Sundown, Texas. Let's take a look at the Abernathy Antelopes as we continue making our way through the Clark Riley Insurance pregame show here prior to the kickoff between the Abernathy Antelopes and the Sundown Roughnecks. The Antelopes, they avoided a letdown from week 1 where they had a mild upset of the Shallow Water Mustangs, and then they rolled to an easy win over Slayton last Friday, avoiding that letdown. This will be Abernathy's, as we mentioned, first road game of the season. So Abernathy will see how they handle the road atmosphere tonight in Sundown. First road contest of the year for the Abernathy Antelopes. Quarterback Jess Hole. He's been airing it out to the tune of 223 yards per contest, passing, and he's also good on the ground. Wide receiver Anthony White has been Hole's favorite target, averaging almost 95 yards receiving per game. I tell you what, that Hole-White connection, a dangerous one for the Abernathy Antelopes. As a team, the Antelopes producing 387 yards of total offense per game, 223 through the air, 164 on the ground. So the Antelopes mix it up pretty well when they have the football, at least so far,